Let's talk about area and perimeter. So perimeter is when we add all the sides together. It's the length of all the sides. If I took a string and put it all the way around the figure, how long would that string be? So length around the edges, or what you need to know is add all sides together. Okay, so if we look at a triangle, all the sides are different, or some of them could be the same. So the perimeter would equal the sides all added together. Now, if we look at a rectangle, notice how the opposite sides are the same. The widths are the same, the lengths are the same. So you could actually, if I added these together, I could combine my like terms. A plus A is 2A. B plus B is 2B. So you could do that. You'll get the same answer either way. Now, area of a triangle. Let's go over these equations real fast here. Area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Area of a rectangle is base times height. Area of a square is side squared, because all the sides are the same. You're going to need those equations. Now let's practice a couple. So here's a lovely figure. We're going to find the perimeter, which means we're going to add all the sides together. So one thing that I like to do, just to make sure that I have all of the sides and I don't leave one out, is mark them out as I go. So I have 12 plus 6 plus 4 plus 13 plus 11 plus 7. So I'm going to add all those together. 12 plus 6 is 18, plus 4 is 22. Keep on going until you have all the sides, and you should get 53. Now, if these were labeled, let's say it was labeled inches, you would leave that labeled inches. The labeling doesn't change. Now let's find the area. I wanted to look at triangles because I wanted to make sure that you understood base and height. So to find your base and height, you actually look for a 90-degree angle. So on the first one, we have a right triangle, which means we have our base, here's my B, and I have my height. If I was going to measure from the floor to the ceiling, I can't make a diagonal line. That doesn't give me the height from the floor to the ceiling. I would have to go with a 90-degree angle perpendicular from the ground to the ceiling, right? That's why we look for the 90 degrees. Now I can plug it in. I know area is 1/2 base times height. So I have 1/2 times 12 times 5. Half of 12 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Now with area, let's say this was labeled. Let's say this was inches. When we find area and we're multiplying to find all that stuff inside of the figure, we would do inches squared. And that's your answer. Now look at number 3. This is a little different triangle. This one's not a right triangle. So my base is where the 90 degrees meet. Here's my base. And my height, remember, has to come from a vertice and meet at a 90-degree angle. So this would be your height. Always look for that 90 degrees. Even if it gives you these sides, it doesn't matter. Okay? So for this one, we have area equals 1/2 base times height. I'm going to multiply that out. 1/2 times 18 is 9. 9 times 7 is 63. There's your area. Okay, now let's look at a rectangle. A rectangle, we're going to find the area and we're going to find the perimeter. So to find the area, we have base times height. So that doesn't use all the sides. It just uses one of the heights, one of the bases. So 5 times 9. So my area is 45. Now my perimeter, I'm going to add all the sides together. 9 plus 5 plus 9 plus 5, or 2 times 9 plus 2 times 5, which would be 18 plus 10, so 28. Now your square, sometimes you're only going to be given one side, but what do these little slashes mean on the sides? That means they're all the same, which means all of these sides are 3. So my perimeter would be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, or 3 times 4, which is 12. My area, you could do base times height, 3 times 3, or you can do sides squared, which is 3 squared, which is also 9. Now we're also going to have some composite figures. Composite figures mean we might have to break the figure down into multiple pieces. So if we look at number 6, it kind of looks like stair steps. Well, is there a way that I could break this picture down into triangles, rectangles, and squares? Yeah. Now, you don't have to break it down exactly how I break it down. You can make that choice how you want to break it down. Personally, I would probably break it down this way. Okay, so on the bottom, what would my base be for this bottom purple rectangle? Well, this bottom purple rectangle has 5, see how it lines up, across from 5, plus 3, plus 10, which would be 18. Okay, so now I can find that by doing 18 times 12, and I'm going to find each piece separately. So 18 times 12 is 216. Now I'm going to find this middle part. So that middle part, what do we have? I don't have my base again, but I do have, this would be 5, this guy's 3, so really my base is 8. So now I have 8 times this guy right here, the height is 18, so I'm going to do 8 times 18 for that middle piece, which is 144. Now I'm going to do the top, this guy right here. Well, I have the base now, it's 5. It kind of looks like a square, but I really don't know that for sure because the sides aren't labeled. So I'm going to have to find that height. But I know the whole thing's 48. I know this part's 12. This part's 18. So if I take 48 minus 18 minus 12, I should be left with this top part, which is 18. And now I can multiply my 18 times 5 to get 90. But I want the area of the entire figure. So we're going to take all of those areas together and add them up. So we have 216 plus 144 plus 90. So my area, my total area, is 450. Now let's look at the next one. How could I make this figure look like the figures that I know? I could draw a line right here. Make that a triangle, right? So for the square, or for the rectangle, this guy that I'm making green, I would do 32 times 26. So we can go ahead and find the area of that guy. Base times height, 32 times 26 is 832. Then I know since this bottom is 26, this height of the triangle would be 26. Since this whole thing's 40 and this part's 32, 40 minus 32 is 8. So now I can find that triangle with 1/2 base times height. So half of 8 is 4, and 4 times 26 is 104. So now I can find the area of this entire figure by doing 832 plus 104, which gives me 936 as my area.